y'all. So I'm here. So this is going to be a story time video. I had a question sent to me in my email, and it's this woman. She's thinking about divorcing her husband, but there's a lot to it. So her question is, if my husband pays child support currently to a baby he had with his mistress outside of our marriage, will it be readjusted when I file for child support when I divorce him? So she goes on to say, my husband had a baby out of wedlock with his mistress, and I have decided to divorce him and file for child support for our two children. So he currently pays $450 in child support and $500 for daycare a month to the child he had with his mistress. Will his payments be recalculated when I file for child support? I was married to him and had one child before his affair. And we tried to work it out, and I had a baby after his affair. But I can't make it, I can't trust him anymore, and I feel like we should separate. So will the court look at the date of the children, meaning I guess when they were born, or my marital status? Will it grant me more support than the mistress? Or will my children have to live off of what's left over from his original support order? So, unfortunately, I think what you were saying is pretty spot on. Typically, whoever files child support first gets the most. And so that's typically how it goes. The law has recently changed, and so your income will be taken into account. So when you go to family court, they'll look at what your income is, and then they'll look at what your husband's bringing in with the deduction for this other child, and then they will modify it, but they will only modify the motion if your husband files. So he has to be the one to file for this motion to, do a recalculation. I would say get a lawyer, a family court lawyer. Do not rely on any court-appointed lawyers. I know that costs money, but I think for the best case scenario, I would get my own attorney, my own lawyer, one that I have contacted and work with. There are many attorneys out here that work at clinics that do work pro bono. They'll take your case for free. So I would look into one of those. If you are unsure of where to find legal aid, that's what it's called, legal aid offices in your area, then put a comment in the chat box or send me an email, and I'll help you find legal aid in your area. So going on with this particular situation, since he is paying a current child support order for a child, typically any future children that are put on are added to his child support orders, there will be a deduction from the original amount. So that means that woman, that his mistress, if he files a modification, her payments will be lowered, but you will never get more than she has gotten. Even with your two children, you will never get, because they're not going to take more from him. So you are always going to get less than what she's getting. My advice to women that, your husband's cheated, he might have babies, be the first to put him on child support. Even if you decide to remain married to him, put him on child support. Make sure that your children are noted in the system. And I know it might be difficult, and I know he might be angry, but you are protecting your children and yourself financially. Because just like in this case, this situation, the woman's marriage still didn't work. She tried to make it work, had another baby, tried to, be cookie cutter and happy family, white picket fence, but it still didn't work. So now she's having to look at the fact that this woman who was in her marriage, this mistress, her child is going to be getting more than the two children she has by her husband. No, they don't take into consideration that you all were married. That has no bearing in reality, unfortunately. I know people like to think that marriage means so much, but not really. Not really. When it comes to child support and the amounts and all that, the first person that files is the victor. They win the race. So, guys, keep your head up. Keep fighting the good fight. Look for ways that you can seek legal advice and legal assistance that's free and that you don't have to pay for. Don't rely on the state appointed attorneys. They are not your friends. And I'm sorry to say that to you, but it is true. I have heard too many stories where people have gone into family court with a court-appointed attorney and they felt like they were gutted. They felt like the person didn't listen to them and they were against them. So be mindful of that. When you point your finger at someone else, you have 3 fingers and a thumb pointed back at you. So be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Love each other. Love yourselves. Know what's out there. Know what your rights are and know what to do when things seem to be falling apart. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.